Heavily armored federal agents made their way into the home on Mapleton Drive, once associated with rap mogul Sean "Diddy" Combs. This grand estate was Diddy's treasure until he fled over 15 years ago, and the reason for his hasty departure remains unknown. Was it scandal, fear, or something more sinister? Go look. Tell me if you think we could get back out from there. What is it about Diddy's home that has shocked the public so much? What secrets lurk behind Diddy's glamorous facade? Let's explore right now. On October 6, 2024, a Twitch streamer named Youssef had the guts to explore the mansion Diddy left behind, but his search was cut short by the police almost as quickly as it began. This magnificent 20,000 square foot mansion sits in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, with 8 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, a wine cellar, home theater, personal gym, library, 5 fireplaces, and several saunas. Yet, one question remains. Why did Diddy mysteriously vacate the home 15 years ago after purchasing it for a whopping $2.6 million, residing there for 4 years, making major renovations, and then selling it for just $1.3 million, half the price he bought it for? Some say Diddy ran into financial issues, while others suggest the more bizarre conclusion that he was haunted by the ghost of his late friend Biggie Smalls, also known as the notorious B.I.G. Police are still investigating the shooting death of Biggie, and while the idea of haunting may seem far-fetched, it's not entirely dismissible. Several fingers have pointed to Diddy as the mastermind behind Biggie's death. These accusations would normally be considered mere rumors, but they come from industry insiders who claim to know more than they let on. Biggie Smalls, the notorious B.I.G., was the first artist to sign with Diddy's Bad Boy Records in 1993. That same year, he gained recognition and began featuring on several tracks and albums. However, Biggie wasn't earning nearly as much as he could have, primarily because Diddy held half of his publishing rights and refused to relinquish them. Feeling cheated, Biggie reportedly began planning his departure from Bad Boy Records. His contract stated that Diddy held half of his publishing rights, and other artists under the label felt it was similarly unfair. Biggie's lawyers began pushing for more control over his publishing, but Diddy fought back fiercely. In P. Diddy's words, "I will never give it up until I'm dead and my bones are crushed into powder." On March 5, 1997, Biggie did a radio interview in San Francisco, where he mentioned that he had hired a security detail because he feared for his safety. 3 days later, on March 8th, he attended the Soul Train Music Awards after-party, but everything changed at 12:30 a.m. when the fire department closed the event early due to overcrowding. Biggie left with his entourage to return to his hotel, but by 12:45 a.m., his death was just seconds away. The rapper stopped at a red light when a black Chevy Impala pulled up beside him. The driver, an unidentified black man, rolled down his window, drew a blue steel pistol, and fired. In a matter of seconds, Biggie was shot 4 times fatally, and his entourage rushed him to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead at 1:15 a.m. It's been over 20 years since Biggie was murdered, yet no arrests have been made in connection with his death. However, some have claimed that Diddy was involved in the homicide. In his song The Bomb, 50 Cent hinted at Diddy's involvement in Biggie's murder, suggesting that the music mogul would come for everyone else too. In fact, 50 Cent and Diddy have rarely been on friendly terms. At one point, both men ventured into the alcohol industry, becoming business rivals. In 2023, 2 decades after Biggie's death, Diddy finally relinquished control of the publishing rights back to all the Bad Boy artists and writers who helped build Bad Boy into the powerhouse it is today. After Diddy's arrest, 50 Cent has frequently taken to social media to throw jabs at him, insisting that all the allegations against him are true. To further substantiate his claims, 50 Cent has revealed that he is producing a documentary series about Diddy's troubled life. The project is currently in production, and Netflix has already signed on to produce it. Now that Diddy is in jail, it seems 50 Cent is prepared to reveal all the skeletons in Diddy's closet. And if there's anyone else who doesn't hide the fact that they know more than they should, it's Eminem. In a remix track titled Fuel, the rapper attacked Diddy, linking him to both Biggie and Tupac's deaths, as well as the string of sexual assault lawsuits against the Bad Boy boss. This wasn't the first time Eminem made such bold claims against Diddy, as he made similar allegations in the original Fuel track. No one has come forward with substantial and undeniable evidence that Diddy was directly responsible for Biggie's death, but one thing we know for sure is that there was something about that house that terrified him. For all we know, Biggie's ghost could indeed be haunting him, because this isn't the only luxury home Diddy has fled from. One of his former properties, a mansion-turned-graffiti museum, is another example. The star producer abandoned yet another magnificent structure in Hollywood Hills. When viewers connected Diddy to this 5-bedroom, 9,000-square-foot mansion, chaos ensued. Graffiti artists vandalized the property, painting tags and street art all over the once pristine white exterior. Large red letters spelling "Diddy was here" were scrawled across the roof, along with a weeping heart painted on the side of the house. Various sayings and phrases were added, including the somewhat satirical quote, "Money is temporary, lifestyle is forever." The interior was no better. Squatters have taken over. According to local reports, officials have cleared out at least 10 residents in a single day. Approximately 10 years have passed since Diddy abandoned the property, but in the weeks following his initial arrest in Manhattan for alleged involvement in sex trafficking, the mansion has suffered even more damage. This property, once owned by musician Mary J. Blige and valued at approximately $6 million to $7 million, is now completely covered in graffiti art. However, these abandoned homes pale in comparison to the ones where Diddy hosted his notorious freak-off parties. These events were hours of excessive partying, with elaborate sexual acts and performances that have added to Diddy's controversial legacy. According to a lawsuit filed by Lil Rod Jones, a former employee, Diddy occasionally arranged for all sorts of people, including minors and men, to attend his infamous parties. He also ensured they ingested narcotics to maximize and facilitate unrestricted sexual activity. Following the producer's arrest, another disturbing feature of his home resurfaced online. Footage from the backyard of Diddy's mansion shows a massive 50-foot bed installed in the garden. And no, it wasn't a sculpture. The footage revealed women jumping on it and even tucking themselves in. It's clear that bed was central to the wild parties, if only it could talk. These parties often lasted for days, and Diddy and his guests frequently required IV fluids to recover from the physical toll and drug use. When authorities raided the location of one of these events, his Miami home, they were shocked to discover drugs, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and numerous firearms. Meanwhile, his sons, Justin and Christian King Combs, were at their father's Los Angeles home when Homeland Security agents conducted a similar raid. With his hands on his head, Diddy was led down a hallway, and the clip showed an agent pointing a semi-automatic rifle at Christian Combs while Justin was handcuffed. As authorities stormed the house, the boy's mother took to social media, condemning what she described as misconduct by the authorities toward her sons. Despite the public outrage on social media, Diddy's family has remained steadfast in their support, consistently attending court hearings. His mother, Janice Combs, has also publicly defended him, stating through her lawyers that it has been unbearable to witness what she calls the public lynching of her son before he has had the opportunity to prove his innocence. She referred to an incident from 2016, captured on security footage, showing Diddy allegedly hitting his ex-girlfriend, singer Cassie, in a Los Angeles hotel corridor. Janice acknowledged that Diddy has made mistakes in the past, but she emphasized that those mistakes do not define him. Although Diddy pleads not guilty, his indictment revealed that he often carried firearms to intimidate and threaten others, including victims and witnesses of his abuse. As criminal accusations mounted, Diddy and his accomplices allegedly forced these victims into silence through bribes and well-crafted but false narratives to cover up their crimes. In another court document, prosecutors accused Diddy and an unidentified co-conspirator of kidnapping someone at gunpoint just days before Christmas in 2011 to facilitate a break-in at another person's home. 2 weeks later, Diddy allegedly set fire to someone's car by slicing open the convertible top and throwing in a Molotov cocktail. These criminal acts are not new to him, as in 1999, Puff Daddy, his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, and rapper Jamal Shine Barrow were arrested in connection with a nightclub shooting. Although the charges were eventually dropped, the incident almost cost a woman her life. Natana Rubin, a victim of the shooting on the night of December 27, 1999, came forward with a shocking claim. She was shot in the face by Sean "Puffy" Combs. Rubin described the horrifying moment when Diddy pulled out a pistol and shot her in the nose. To this day, a fragment of the bullet remains lodged in her face, which she has offered as evidence against him. Although Diddy, Lopez and Barrow were all arrested, only Barrow faced charges. Diddy and Lopez were held on suspected weapons charges, but were not formally charged in relation to the shooting itself. Just when you think the allegations against Diddy couldn't get worse, more troubling accusations surface. In court, Diddy confidently denied all claims against him. His lawyer emphasized that his client did not own the guns found in his home. Regarding the discovery of an outrageous number of baby oil bottles, Diddy has offered no explanation. His attorney quipped, "I don't know what you need 1,000 bottles of baby oil for. One bottle goes a long way. I'm not sure why anyone would need that much." In an attempt to defend him, the lawyer claimed that Diddy buys in bulk from Costco because of the size of his house. However, a Costco representative later clarified that the wholesale store does not stock or sell baby oil at any of its US locations. This bizarre defense, combined with the mountains of evidence, has fueled suspicions that Diddy and his family have plenty to hide. Following Diddy's arrest and his son's removal from the Los Angeles mansion in handcuffs, the two were seen returning later that day to retrieve their belongings. Some sources speculate that they also collected boxes containing incriminating materials that authorities may have missed during the raid. Sources have speculated that Diddy's estate might include an underground tunnel connecting to other houses in the area, though this has not been confirmed. However, media coverage has revealed that Diddy's property does include a pool with an underwater tunnel leading to a grotto. On the night of Diddy's arrest, his sons, Natana Rubin, a victim of the shooting on the night of December 27, 1999, came forward with a shocking claim. She was shot in the face by Sean "Puffy" Combs. Rubin described the horrifying moment when Diddy pulled out a pistol and shot her in the nose. To this day, a fragment of the bullet remains lodged in her face, which she has offered as evidence against him. Although Diddy, Lopez and Barrow were all arrested, only Barrow faced charges. Diddy and Lopez were held on suspected weapons charges, but were not formally charged in relation to the shooting itself. Just when you think the allegations against Diddy couldn't get worse, more troubling accusations surface. In court, Diddy confidently denied all claims against him. His lawyer emphasized that his client did not own the guns found in his home. Regarding the discovery of an outrageous number of baby oil bottles, Diddy has offered no explanation. His attorney quipped, "I don't know what you need 1,000 bottles of baby oil for. One bottle goes a long way. I'm not sure why anyone would need that much." In an attempt to defend him, the lawyer claimed that Diddy buys in bulk from Costco because of the size of his house. However, a Costco representative later clarified that the wholesale store does not stock or sell baby oil at any of its US locations. This bizarre defense, combined with the mountains of evidence, has fueled suspicions that Diddy and his family have plenty to hide. Following Diddy's arrest and his son's removal from the Los Angeles mansion in handcuffs, the two were seen returning later that day to retrieve their belongings. Some sources speculate that they also collected boxes containing incriminating materials that authorities may have missed during the raid. Sources have speculated that Diddy's estate might include an underground tunnel connecting to other houses in the area, though this has not been confirmed. However, media coverage has revealed that Diddy's property does include a pool with an underwater tunnel leading to a grotto. On the night of Diddy's arrest, his sons, Justin and Christian, were spotted leaving his other Beverly Hills residence at separate times. Justin around 10:30 p.m. and Christian a few hours later, before speeding off to an unknown location. Speaking of his sons, it seems the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Christian, also known as King Combs, has been named alongside his father in a new lawsuit. The lawsuit accuses Christian of. In September, a woman named Thalia Graves filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy and his bodyguard, Joseph Sherman, of raping her, recording the assault without her consent and distributing the footage as pornography. According to the lawsuit, the assault occurred in 2001 when she was 25 years old and dating a record producer who worked with Diddy. Graves claims that Diddy and Sherman exploited her relationship with the producer to lure her to a recording studio where they gave her a drink that she suspects was laced with drugs. She lost consciousness and later awoke bound and unable to move, while Diddy and Sherman allegedly took turns assaulting her. In another similar case, a woman named Joey Dickerson filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy of drugging, harassing, and sexually abusing her, and later distributing a video of the incident. According to the lawsuit, Joey Dickerson was in college when she agreed to go on a date with Diddy and appear in one of his music videos. After dinner, Diddy allegedly drove her to a recording studio under duress. During the ride, she realized she had been drugged and was unable to leave the car, having lost all control over her body. She was paralyzed and couldn't stand or move, at which point the lawsuit claims Diddy assaulted her. Another lawsuit was filed by a woman named Adria in 2004. In her case, she accused Diddy, his record label, Jacob Arabo, also known as Jacob the Jeweler, and several unidentified defendants. Adria was working as a dancer at a club in New York City with her then boyfriend when she was hired to work at one of Diddy's infamous white parties in the Hamptons. She claims that while working at the party, she was coerced into consuming drugs and alcohol, which she believes were laced with ecstasy. These new claims add to the growing list of serious accusations against the music executive, portraying a concerning pattern of misconduct and exploitation at his events. According to the lawsuit, by the time she worked at the third event, she felt pressured into engaging in intimate activities with attendees. She also mentions being made to change from her usual white outfit to a black mini dress, which she believes was intended to signal to the guests that she was available for such encounters. She names Jacob Araboff as one of the individuals she felt coerced into engaging with, along with other unnamed individuals. Adria is convinced that there are hidden recordings of these incidents, where she was assaulted while unconscious in Diddy's properties. The most alarming of the allegations involves a young boy, aged 9, who attended a Bad Boy Records audition in New York City. According to the prosecuting attorney, the boy stated that he was mistreated at the studio, not only by Diddy, but also by his associates. It was claimed that the boy and his parents were lured with promises of fame and potential record deals. During a private meeting, the boy was allegedly forced into inappropriate acts. We can continue citing these allegations because, as it stands, the prosecuting attorney to Diddy's case, Tony Busby, is currently representing 12 people who have substantial evidence of assaults against them. On the 10th of October, the judge presiding over Diddy's federal case held a hearing in New York and scheduled his trial for the 5th of May, 2025. Sean Diddy Combs and a few of his family members were in the courtroom where he entered a not guilty plea. The defendant seemed pretty confident and maybe a little too overjoyed. He was seen wearing khaki pants and a shirt provided by the jail, and his ankles were cuffed. He waved to his family, who were seated in the second row, and smiled broadly as he was escorted into the courtroom by officials. As the hearing proceeded, an attorney stated that from the time his houses in Miami and Los Angeles, as well as an unidentified private airfield in Florida, were raided to the time of his arrest, 96 electronic devices were taken into custody. It was also stated that after Diddy was taken into custody last month, 4 additional devices were confiscated. Of the 96 electronics, 8 devices found in Miami had almost 90 terabytes of data on them, with the attorney describing them as extraordinary evidence. This extraordinary evidence certainly comes with extraordinary consequences. By being the first victim to go public and file a suit against Sean Diddy Combs, Cassie Ventura let all hell loose. As the trial approaches, the music industry and fans around the world are left to deal with the striking contrast between the Diddy they thought they knew and the severe allegations leveled against him. If he's going down, best believe there are many others going down with him. In the words of the prosecuting attorney, "The day will come when we will name names other than P. Diddy, and there are indeed a lot of names." Since the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, salacious details of Diddy's freak-off sessions have emerged. Federal authorities raided Diddy's homes in March, and in the 14-page indictment, the details of what all have been found out at Diddy's different mansions have been revealed. In or about March 2024, during searches of Combs' residences in Miami, Florida and Los Angeles, California, law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oils and lubricant. Several social media posts claim there is a tunnel underground, Diddy's Los Angeles mansion connecting it to the Playboy Mansion, the former home of Playboy magazine founder Hugh Hefner. But a Reuters fact-check confirmed that the Diddy tunnel claims are fabricated and one of the many conspiracy theories. There are underwater swimming tunnels reported in the mansion, though. Diddy's Los Angeles mansion measures around 17,000 square feet and has a 3,000 square feet guest house. It has a 35-seat theater, a gym, a wine room, and underwater swimming tunnel connecting to a grotto, the Los Angeles Times reporter earlier. The mansion, built in 2014, comes with 8 bedrooms and 11 bathrooms. There's a separate spa house with a steam room, massage room, and a beauty salon. Another conspiracy theory circulated at the time of the raids was that Diddy escaped through the underground tunnel. According to the indictment, freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Diddy arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. In arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associated of the Combs enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial sex workers across state line and internationally. Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial sex workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Without the victims' knowledge, Combs secretly recorded videos of them participating in sexual activities with commercial sex workers. After these freak-off events, both Combs and the victims usually received IV fluids to recover from the physical strain and drug use, according to the indictment. After being arrested by the police, Sean Diddy Combs has been detained at the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, a prison rife with danger. Rumors are swirling that Diddy is the #1 target, facing numerous threats. The Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn is notorious for its appalling living conditions and rampant violence. How bad is it inside this federal lockup? In recent years, there have been 2 murders, 4 suicides, numerous stabbings, and frequent lockdowns. It's so out of control that it's been described as hell on earth. From his $48 million Miami mansion to this chaotic environment, the stark contrast is striking. Reports reveal that Sean Diddy Combs is facing grave danger behind bars at the MDC. The facility, rife with violence and overcrowding, is now the site of new threats against Diddy, as insiders claim he has been targeted. As details emerge about his notorious past, including allegations of hidden recordings and ties to controversial figures, the stakes have never been higher. With threats looming from longtime enemies like Suge Knight, the question remains, can Diddy navigate this treacherous landscape, or will those determined to silence him succeed? Before delving into the full details, it's important to explore Diddy's new home, the MDC, a facility described as disgusting, with horrifying conditions, far removed from the luxury mansions in Miami and Los Angeles that he once called home. Now 54, Diddy finds himself at the MDC after pleading not guilty to charges related to abuse accusations spanning over a decade. His defense team unsuccessfully fought to keep him out of the federal lockup, citing the dire conditions of the facility, often described as hell on earth, due to rampant violence, deaths, and horrific living standards. The MDC has housed several high-profile inmates over the years, including R. Kelly, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Sam Bankman-Fried. The facility's reputation has led some judges to refuse to send inmates there. However, in this case, the judge ruled that no house arrest or bail conditions could guarantee the safety of witnesses or prevent obstruction in Diddy's trial. Diddy remains in federal custody, awaiting trial on racketeering and conspiracy charges. His lawyers are struggling to defend him under such harsh detention conditions, and with no trial date yet set, it's uncertain how long Diddy will remain in the Brooklyn prison. After Wednesday's bail denial hearing, his lawyer announced plans to appeal the decision. The Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, opened by the Bureau of Prisons in the early 1990s, is infamous for its harsh conditions and violence. Initially established as a federal jail for those awaiting trial or serving short sentences, the facility currently holds around 1,200 detainees, down from over 1,600 earlier this year. Located on the Brooklyn waterfront, the jail has outdoor recreation spaces, medical and dental units, and a wing dedicated to educational programs and a library. However, detainees frequently report severe issues, including violence, insufficient staffing, and contraband smuggling, some involving employees. Lockdowns are common, with detainees often restricted from visits, calls, showers, or exercise. The facility has witnessed multiple deaths recently, including a fatal stabbing and a death resulting from a brawl, reflecting the ongoing crisis within its walls. In June, an inmate awaiting trial on gun charges was fatally stabbed at MDC Brooklyn, highlighting the ongoing violence. Just a month later, Edwin Cordo died during a fight inside the prison. Cordo's lawyer called the facility hell on earth, describing it as overcrowded, understaffed, and neglected.